N9 is actually Tundra and Pebbles here as far as their two locks. So very strong heroes in their own right. And, Tundra's definitely one of those where it seems like that he just gets banned all too often. Kind of like a Fade for that matter, who's also locked up. Yeah, these two teams, a little bit different of a style here than a lot of games. Usually the Suicide Jungle and whatnot, but going more with these initiators and aggressive gankers, as more access is even locked up here by BLZN. So.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, there's still more the same as far as the blind man goes, especially Wild Soul Tempest will feel it. I mean, these are things that are happening every single game. Same thing goes pretty much the same for the locks that we have so far. Key of the Forest, Pebbles. Oh, except we got finally a curveball, but it probably won't get picked.
Good old Nighthound.
I would love to see it get picked, though. I do actually think that Nighthound's smoke screen, is that what it's called? The
smoke, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that ability is very, very strong.
Smoke bomb.
An AoE silence that lasts, what, 6 seconds, I want to say?
Yeah.
And slows you and gives you basically complete evasion.
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool spell. I'd love to see that utilized. But something tells me we probably won't see him picked up this game. Still would love to see it. Plague banned out. Draconis banned out. We saw a lot of hard carries banned out last time.
Well, I was also kind of looking at the lock pool, and I was going to say N9, maybe it might be worth locking something like a Legionnaire or a Warbeast here, because, again, you got to figure Keeper of the Forest is going to be first picked, and to try to give yourselves that jungle potential, because if not, now you risk definitely either one of them, if not both of them, being banned. But actually, neither one is banned so far as a banning phase. You got Plague Rider, Draconis, Bubbles, and Moon Queen coming out here. So we'll see what BLZN finishes off with, but I guess in the end, N9 should still have a legitimate jungle option to work with, if that's what, of course, they choose to do, which is what we usually see nowadays. So, but the final ban coming out for either side here, Sky Griffin, the captain for BLZN. We'll see who he ultimately goes with against Pew, of course, the captain for N9 over here. But yeah, it would be fun to see the Nighthound, but it does seem like that is just one of those final, let's just trollish lock here. Not really expect to see him picked up, though, in this game. But, you got the smoke bomb. It's obviously a lot of sense. It's similar to, like, Scout's, honestly, his silence. Where that I tend to think is underrated. I mean, that not only can see invis, but obviously that it's a powerful silence in its own right. 6-second silence itself. So
it's physical, too. So the silence actually goes through Shrunken Head.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, really strong against Tempest, because you can literally bait an entire Tempest ultimate, and it's completely uncounterable. Like, there's nothing, you can't buy a Nullstone, you can't buy a Shrunken Head.
Interesting, yeah.
It's completely uncounterable, and you can even bait. You just sit. Everyone, you can even clump up and just bait Tempest Ultimate. Like, come get us. Come 5-man hold us. I know you want
on top
to.
Of each other.
You go, and then you just get silenced immediately. So
hilarious.
It's a really cool.
Oh yeah,
good tool.
Can't say I was actually aware of that. That is interesting, and Scout new Tempest counter perhaps.
Yeah.
I
like to get personally Scout with a blink. And just run in there and blink silence. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's actually pretty damn strong.
Dark Lady and Warbeast, the final ban. Silhouette is going to be snap first picked, really, by Sky Griffin. Definitely valuing Silhouette highly here, and nothing wrong with that. Definitely a very powerful hero, of course. So we'll see how BLZN makes use of her as far as carry potential still left. There are a lot of those banned as usual. Aluna and Nymphora, however, are going to be the pickups here from N9. So going very support heavy with their first couple of pickups here. And, with those two, again, it's not certain, but it does tend to believe that we're probably not going to see a jungle here from M9 in the end, which really the only option left, I guess, is that Legionnaire. So,
yeah, well, yeah, Keeper of the Forest is taken up by the Legion team, of course. Yeah, and then I think what they might just run is like a Suicide Tundra, and maybe do 2 dual lane mids. And my God, if they went something like, well, I guess they'd have to get like another melee stunner or their carry here. They wouldn't be able to pick Tundra, Fade, and Pebbles now that I think about it, or actually Meraxis. There's a lot of great stunners and initiators that would pair well with both Aluna and Nymphora in that pool. I mean, look at that. Pebbles, Fade, and Meraxis. So, but they're going to need like a carry right here. They're going to need someone like, I don't know, Mage Bane or Kronos or even a Zephyr if they want to go early. And they actually go down Pier. So it's a kind of an interesting pickup, but there's actually the Legionnaire. They could still go Keeper of the Forest and go long lane Keeper of the Forest, which I think is better, to be honest. And with the fact that you have 3 melee initiators and stunners in that lockpick pool, I think Keeper is a very, very good pickup. I actually really like what BLZN's doing with the draft.
Yeah, I was, but the logic behind it, wow, by the way, Pebbles and Tundra. Damn, that's an aggressive team over there on N9's part. Holy crap. The final pick damp here in the regular stage. You have Pebbles and Tundra to finish that off. Again, I am very curious how they ultimately are going to lane this. Is it going to be something like an aggressive tri-lane even here?
Yeah,
but
I think it's going to be a tri-lane with Aluna and Nymphora, maybe Pebbles, Dampier solo, Tundra solo. That's my guess, but could be wrong. They could even go Dampier tri-lane, but I really think that Dampier needs levels. They actually go with Mirax. I think Fade would have been just infinitely better, especially against Nymphora, being able to get away from those ganks and then kind of gank yourself. But if there is a good counter to Fade, if there's any kind of counter to Fade, it is a Tundra with a Hawk overhead along with a Bound Eye on top of the hero. So maybe that's the reasoning for going with Mirax. It's a little bit tankier hero, can also sustain a combo from Pebbles much better than a Fade can. So
yeah.
Now that I'm looking at it a second time, I actually do think that Mirax is a smarter pickup. I actually really like the BLZN lineup. I think it's very smart.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was actually kind of just going over the strengths of both sides. I really think when it comes to just team fight, and obviously in the end that hard carry potential, you gotta favor BLZN side a little bit more. But damn, is N9's lineup definitely in the makings of an entertaining one. I mean, that is a big time aggressive lineup. So that's what I'm really excited for. Seeing coming out here from them, and again, how are they ultimately going to lane this too? You're kind of expecting maybe the aggressive trialing with Pebbles at bottom and then Dampier solo, but we'll see in the end what they decide to go with. Four of the heroes are headed down here. The only certain we can have at this point is Tundra is going to go solo top, of course. Now, where does Legionnaire go as well? You got to figure again if BLZN's seeing what we're seeing, expect maybe a tri-lane bottom. Probably send Legionnaire to the aggressive jungle, and that's looks like what Sub Rogue here is going to do, so he doesn't get distracted early on. So it's a good move on his part.
Yeah, definitely a good move from him, dodging out this aggression early on. Silhouette short lane, that's pretty expected. She needs to level up a tree grapple first, like level 1. In fact, if they get a ward down here very quickly, oh, she's actually going to dodge it for now. They do actually get a ward. They're going to spot out Silhouette being down here. So they're going to have good aggression, and they can pick her off early on if they get those stuns lined up correctly, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult than a hero that would otherwise be in the short lane. Like, it's actually a little bit more difficult on Silhouette than, say, a Draconis, or, say, some other short lane hero that could solo well in the short lane, like, I don't know, Hellbringer. We never see that anymore, but you get my point. Like, she has that great escape mechanism with a tree grapple. So that might, what we're going to see, probably some roaming on early on in the mid lane. We already see a Luna and Nymphora setting up here. And you had to, I mean, if you knew they were going to do this, like, they obviously knew with Legionnaire already making his way up here to the top jungle, they should have placed some kind of defensive ward. Like, they needed to place it right about where actually Pew wards that medium camp right there. That's one of the things I don't agree with, especially the medium camp. Like, I would much rather ward the hard camp against the Legionnaire because he can still farm the hard camp. It's not like a War Beast where he has trouble farming the hard camp. Legionnaire actually thrives in farming hard camps once they're stacked. So the small camp, I shouldn't even say medium camp, it's a small camp. The medium, warding that small camp is really not the right way to go in my opinion. But
well, on top of that too, I mean, Legionnaire already kind of figured what was going to go on, and so like I said, he's in the Hellborn jungle, so that really isn't going to affect him when it's all said and done. So in a sense, that's just kind of a null ward. It really isn't doing anything in the end. So
and they don't have a ward on the rune, so they're gonna have to kind of guess,
Yeah. Now, of course, they do have a Tundra, so maybe that's what they're kind of thinking, that they could use the Shiver once he eventually gets that leveled up, perhaps. But
well, he's already got one level to the Cold Shoulder, and he's presumably gonna start leveling up those
shards,
piercing shards. So he's not gonna have a Shiver till level 4 of Call of the Winter, and that Shiver level 1 is so damn slow. It's hardly even worth it sometimes by maneuvering it. Not to mention, he's going to have some trouble against Keeper of the Forest already. Look, he's actually Keeper of the Forest applying some pressure early on a Tundra. We're seeing a melee battle right here up in the top lane. But yeah, Legionnaire doing good things actually already as he stacked the medium camp right there. Got favorable spawns, I got to say. Those are literally the best spawns you can get for Legionnaire.
M4 at the bottom lane, meantime, a little bit of trouble. Well, not a nice Zeal Stun right there on a rifle playing the Engineer, but in the end, no kills are going to happen. You do see Health Potion going out, but Engineer has adjusted to the bottom lane, as you see here, and nearly getting a kill onto what would have been a Bloodlust kill onto Nymphora. So kind of an interesting change-up, however.
Smart.
You like it?
I like it a lot. And this is going to give you a lane that you can still win, and at the same time give your hard carry a little bit of space and farm. Not to mention their hard carry, which, I mean, it's not even really a hard carry, but it's the hero that's going to hopefully carry for them in the late game, which is this Dampier. He's now in a susceptible position being in the long lane with just a very, to be honest, a weak laner in Nymphora. So having dual range, having better heroes in the short lane, not to mention Silhouette farming in your short lane, it was a very good transition from rifle playing this Engineer.
Yeah, you see the Legionnaire again, another double stack. This one a little bit more difficult. In fact, we'll have to fall off right there. Kind of reset things. That's a health potion though. Going to use that and go back in. Again, he is off to a pretty solid start there, and that all goes back to just the proper and the very good decision making in the end, but on his part specifically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it seems like BLZN, they really are off to a great start here as far as all lanes go. I mean, of course, the middle lane, I mean, especially with that change up, Moraxis really isn't going to get the greatest farm in the end. He's only 3-0 so far, but at least getting some levels and staying alive is the big thing. Of course, bottom lane, Silhouette will be taken down, so complimenting BLZN here, and all of a sudden we see a Bloodlust in favor of N9 on Porkchop playing that Silhouette. So that is unfortunate. I just got the tail end of that. We do see top lane, also middle lane action even. Moraxis still dodging the Stalagmite to look like, and actually trying to turn this around even. Pebble's in a little bit of trouble, but no, won't be nearly enough pressure for a kill. So, but that's a no-no for BLZN. Can't have Silhouette die.
Absolutely not. Like, there's no reason you should die against this lane. Now, Dampier's combo can be effective in getting the fear and get some more extra auto attacks, but it really doesn't do that much damage right now. Not to mention, it's actually, this composition of Nymphora and Dampier really isn't the strongest because it can be kind of difficult sometimes to land that Nymphora Zeal stun with the fear going on from Dampier's Q spell. So, I mean, it's not to say that it can't be done, but it is a little more awkward and difficult. But yeah, there's really no excuse to be dying in this short lane when you have a much better lane and dual range against this lane.
Yeah, big time unfortunate there for BLZN, but you know, definitely just trying to recover now as a result of what just happened right there. You do see Engineering. He's going to stack up the pole camp here, and then we'll eventually pull it. Now, the Sword Sight is still up. That was placed by Pew at the very beginning, so they definitely spot Engineer here, kind of doing what he's doing. So we'll see if maybe they look to harass him as he goes for the pole. Tundra and Keeper of the Forest continuing to go at it in the meantime, as Legionnaire is nearby. Isn't level 6 just yet, but he does have a taunt. He's going to go in right here. Tundra going to be taunted to get a spin off or two. Good to get the kill. Oh, the creeps. Is it going to spin as a result? No. They're actually, oh, never, what am I saying? Those are his own creeps. That doesn't make sense. But anyways, Tundra is going to fall back, and he actually will survive in the end. I got kind of mixed up there for some reason. Thought he was Hellborn. Yeah. But he does stay alive, and that's a big miss there.
That's one of the reasons why I actually don't like to... I mean, it might be a safer route leveling up that taunt for when you hit level 6, so you can actually taunt, then get the ultimate from the Decapitate, but... The taunt duration is so freaking low at level 1. I would much rather just farm as Legionnaire. Just maximize your farm in the jungle and get some more points into Whirling Blade rather than using that one skill into taunt. As you saw right there, I mean, he clearly didn't get any spins off. Yeah. Maybe if he was next to a couple more creeps, he could have had a little bit more favorable spins, but even then, I wouldn't like to chance it. I would just rather maximize my farm in the jungle.
Yeah, and again, it's also the case of maybe if this was like even something like a Wretched Hag or Bubbles, a more aggressive hero to go with it. Bottom lane again, though. Porkchop going down. I do apologize missing that, but Dampier and Nymphora able to get another kill down here. The Vampiric Flight and the Terrorize just too powerful on top of Nymphora, and that's a second death for her. So what should have been actually a pretty good adjustment and a pretty decent lane in the end has turned out to be pretty horrific for Silhouette. It's made this adjustment kind of nullified in a sense.
Yeah, well, and Dampier is definitely a snowball hero. Like I said, level 3 shouldn't really be getting kills, but level 4, level 5, now especially level 6 when he gets those consumes up, which now have been changed. You can just use it on anything and you'll get a charge. You don't have to get the last hit. Now he's going to start to really do damage, so the Engineer just simply needs to leave. He needs to leave this lane, go back mid, maybe try to set something up there with a Keeper ultimate, or maybe go top with the Keeper ultimate or something. But right now, just sitting at the lanes that they are, it's already failed. Bottom lane has already failed. Don't even try to push it any longer. You're just going to keep dying.
Yeah, just, you know, get out of there while you still can, basically. In fact, look at that flat right there coming out. The Terrorize on top, and again, the kill on the Silhouette. This time, though, being level 6, able to consume her, getting that burst damage, has the 3 charges now as a result of that. And you said it. Talk about Snowball. Dampier definitely up there with the best of them, and especially having a 4 team. He's going to go in once again. Another tower down right here. Engineer, the Zeal Stun connecting. One more auto attack, and Papelli is already 3-0-1. Look at that. Just like that. 475 gold per minute all of a sudden now for Dampier. He has another 1,000 gold saved up. Ghost Marchers and Power Supply already finished. Big time here for Dampier, and it's... You just got finished saying how, you know, just make an adjustment, get away from the bottom lane. All of a sudden, they both die.
Yeah. Really big props to Brodeck's 5 level. He actually played really well last game on Behemoth as well, but he's connecting with all these Zeal stuns. And like I said, it can be awkward sometimes with that Fear ability coming out from Dampier, who's, by the way, leveled up that Terrorize over the Vampiric Flight. Normally see Vampiric Flight actually leveled up, but it's leveled up the Terrorize, and yeah, he's been connecting with the Zeal stun, so great job from Brodeck's 5 level, and he's going to be level 6 here pretty damn soon. And with the Dampier that's already fed pretty much and has those levels now, it's going to be certain death onto anyone they pour it on.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because again he's level 3 or he has the 3 charges here, and you can see what Terrorize is supposed to do: 225 magic damage and 1 second fear. But if you look at the actual tooltip on the bottom right hand side, it actually says 350 magic damage with 1.75 second on the fear because of the essences being there, so you can kind of see the comparison as how much of a buff that actually is for Dampier, having especially the 3 charges. So. Just kind of a fun note right there. Obviously, we see N9 reconnecting, just doing a quick restart for, I guess they were bugging out a little bit. But 4-0 hero kill start here. You're already looking at nearly a 4,000 gold lead just coming up to the 7-minute mark. Again, this is our classic case, it seems like, of, in this case, Team BLZN. They made appropriate adjustments. They were looking like they were going to have a fairly strong laning phase, but that's just one part of the game, of course. You definitely still have to execute, and N9 has just done that much better as far as the execution goes, and well, just the playing of the game. So yeah, obviously helping to give them this lead. As Dampier especially, I mean, whoever's porting in right here, another tower dive attempt, it looked like it was going to happen, but
he could have been bursted down immediately. Yeah, literally.
That was very scary.
If you actually look at all of the spells, I didn't even know it did that, by the way. How it actually adds it up for you and this extra tooltip. So that's 315, 150,
320 from the ultimate,
and yeah. So you're looking at around 800 magic damage. It's pretty insane, and not to mention this isn't just like an ultimate from Witchslayer that has a huge cooldown. I mean, these are one of the cool things about Dampier when you compare him to a hero like Pebbles is he has a combo up all the time. Like it's very, very fast.
Yeah, that's God, that really is crazy when you add up that damage and how much he actually can do here against perfect catches.
Pebbles combo, it happens basically every 20 seconds because you have to wait for the combo from Stalagmites, which is a 20-second cooldown. Toss is obviously 10 seconds, but Dampier spells are both 10 seconds at level 4. So every 10 seconds you're having a combo. Now you do have to wait for your consumability as your ultimate, but that's still only 30 seconds in itself. So. Yeah, Dampier is pretty much like the epitome of a snowball-type hero.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously don't get the chance to see Dampier that often, but in the cases like this, it's definitely showing that he really can dominate if he gets that good start. So, again, I guess they're having trouble seeing more axes here in the middle lane. Apparently, there may be some fog bug or whatever, but they are just going to go ahead and resume here, it looks like, as soon as BLZN is ready. But you do see, speaking of the bottom lane, Legionnaire is nearby. He has made his way here to the bottom lane and is perhaps trying to set something up here as far as a turnaround. But you got to be careful with that because, again, Dampier could quickly turn things around like you're saying. I mean, he could literally burst on either Silhouette or Engineer on cue, and then all of a sudden it turns into a 2 versus 2. So we need to be careful about that, but we'll see if they can execute this. Legionnaire does have Decapitate, so that is the plus here. And here we go. He is going to start going in. Silhouette off from the side as well. Dampier goes into Engineer, says, gets that kill right off the bat. But here we go. In comes Legion. Oh, the nice Yellowstone once again coming out from Brodex 5 level. And that will keep them both alive. Man, you gave him the credit earlier, Trout, but another big play from N4 right there. And here we go again. Dampier going back in. One more auto attack. Gets the kill right there. Double tap for Belly. Is going to apply a little bit of pressure to Legionnaire, but he'll fall back and be fine. It's getting ugly down here.
Like I said, snowball hero, man. And they can just keep doing this in the meantime. A kill onto Wrecked in the mid lane. As Pew gets credit for that one, the combo from Carmadias playing that Pebbles. As now he has a regen rune as well on top of that. The only lane that's really not doing that well is Washi's doing and more action onto Sub-Zero. As Fabelli is just going crazy now on Dampier. It's a shame he can't buy the, what is that new item called?
Oh, the
Grimoire Power, which is just so damn good on
I want to see him go spell shards at least. At this rate, just go spell shards, damn it.
I would just go for a blink.
Yeah, get the port
something with the with Nymph4. Nymph4 is level 6 now, by the way. So if they get some dust, they could easily kill this Keeper of the Forest, setting up with a Tundra ultimate.
He does have 2,300 gold saved up, and so we'll see.
As he just talks about Grimoire.
Oh yeah, apparently he wanted that, but. Obviously, in tournament rules, as he puts it, can't pick up the Grimoire next season, perhaps. But, we see this Stalagmite's going to go into Legionnaire. Luna's the one being chased, but they're going to go for a turn kill. Legionnaire will fall as a result. Moraxis does have the Matrix. He needs to use it, though, to get the. He's not using it, however. That probably would have gotten the kill, but Aluna's going to be able to get away. There we go with the explosion, and Aluna dodged it. I'm not sure what Miraxis was thinking right there. He's going to be comboed now. The Zealstone back will miss it. Actually, the power throw completely whipping right there, so a bit of a misplay from Aluna on the other hand. But, ooh, health potion coming out, barely out of range. There's an auto attack to cancel it, but it looks like Miraxis, unless we see another power throw. Can Pew land this? Oh, nice juke right there. And he will be fine. So both teams definitely having a misplay there, but no kills, I guess.
Not exactly the best power throws on stun targets, I suppose. But Nymph4, also the back end of his stun miss, but I'm not going to criticize him at all for that because he's played fantastically this game and constantly is connecting with those Zeal stuns. Does look like we are going to see a Hellflower coming out from Dampier.
Or spell shards.
Or yeah, you're right. Or spell shards.
Uh-huh.
Which the only sad thing about spell shards is when they changed it. I actually, as we see some aggression on the Silhouette. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Like, what can he do? I mean,
good.
Jumps in, gets the kill.
I actually really liked the cooldown reduction from the old spell shards. I thought that was one of the cooler things about it. Now it's cheaper and has some more mana regen, I believe, with it, but I don't really care about that. Like, I like the cooldown effect of it, but we see a Nymph port actually coming. Where is this? Behind the mid lane. It's going to be Miraxis. Can they kill him? He gets the fear on top of another connected Zeal stun, but the ultimate is used by Miraxis. It's going to save him for a little bit of time. He actually gets the stun on Dampier. They're going to pursue him, though, for the time being. There comes a hasted Pebbles, and he actually tosses Dampier. The ultimate does nothing. Legionnaires in the mix. Good Zeal stun yet again on top of the Stalagmites. Dampier might think about going in, and he actually gets invised by Keeper of the Forest. He'll be fine for now, and so back up. But this is just becoming a shit show, to be honest. A 0-11 kill deficit for Team BLZN. And, yeah, N9 looking pretty damn strong right now.
He actually consumes a creep right there to get his third charge. So, yeah, he's, actually, no, he's been on the third 3 charges. What am I saying? But,
yeah.
Anyways, he is, yeah, Snowball is just no better way to put it. He's so broke. It's kind of funny because actually, as I was saying earlier, so in this, they're not only playing to qualify for the main event here for the Sound Blaster event, but first place will get sound cards where the runner-up team actually gets some headsets. So apparently he values the headsets more so. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think headsets are actually probably a little bit cooler, but hey, it's in the end, you know, qualifying for the main event definitely a big deal. Keeper of the Force is going to be bursted down there. Zin's actually getting credit, but obviously Dampier doing most of the damage there as the setup. As the setup came from Tundra with the Avalanche. I think it's safe to say this is getting to a point of we could possibly have a 15-minute game here. So, Rifle just putting out there. So you guys can go to leave if you like. You know, you don't need to stay. Yeah, it's this is a classic example of just a game getting a little bit too out of hand here.
It's sad too because I really liked BLZN's lineup.
They played it well early on. I mean, the laning phase was solid. It's just, I guess, well, the lanes were solid. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah, they just simply got, you know, outplayed here. Yeah. And their draft was great. Like, I loved it. I thought it looked pretty damn good. Like, if I saw this draft on a top tier team, I would be like, wow, this is really solid. I can't wait to see how much farm Silhouette's going to get. Keeper of the Forest, great team fight potential with Keeper of the Forest, Miraxis, and Engineer. But it just simply did not get out of the laning phase at all. Blink on Pebbles. He goes to combo. Rifle falls immediately. There's the ult from Keeper of the Forest to keep him in place. Silhouette trying to connect. No, he can't. Good stun from Aluna right there. And they won't pursue him anymore. Legionnaire coming in onto the illusions, but obviously that's not going to really work out for him.
Eeps, Dampier is nowhere nearby just yet. We do have Pebbles actually joining back in the body. Keeper of the Force sitting right here though, invis, but Pebbles is going balls to the wall, takes out Miraxis. Will cost him his life in the process. However, Avalanche is going to hit Silhouette right there, and Silhouette could very likely fall. Yes, he will. Down he goes despite the Nitrous Veil coming out. So we do see Keeper of the Force now chasing this Tundra. Tundra trying to get away. No root from Keeper of the Force, so of course, still an 80-plus second cooldown. While that's all happening, Dampier has actually just been busier at the bottom lane, farming it and pushing it in. So Fabelli, disappointed, bro. You need more kills after all. So, but he's just going to continue to farm. You do see Aluna actually all the way down here at on the secondary tower, getting a little bit crafty here. But there goes the tower kill. Keeper of the Forest actually is going to fall in the middle lane, as Brodex 5 level will pick it up on Infora, and they're going to also push in the middle tower. So there's the Hellflower completion already on Dampier. We just hit 13 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. That's ridiculous. 547 gold per minute. Again, it's pretty obvious that this game has even already been over for a little bit now, and BLZN is just simply waiting for that 15-minute mark, I'm sure. So, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, let's all make fun of Karma Diaz right now. This is the only person on the Hellborn team that has died. And it's 18-1 hero kill lead for N9.
Noob. That's what his team should be calling him now. Obvious noob. Oh, look at this. I'm getting a phone call. Can't take that right now, guys. That probably popped up on the screen. The C9 admins want me. I did become an admin last night, official admin of the C9 League, the in-house league. So I can now officially ban you from it, Ralph. So
okay.
You better be kind.
Okay.
No, I volunteered to become an admin, more so just if a game needs like an aborting or whatever or something like that, then I want to help out. I don't necessarily want to deal with disciplinary stuff, so I'll leave that to the other guys.
There you go.
But yeah, I figured I watch a lot, I'm around a lot, so why the hell not? Anyways, Keeper the Force. They might, a Legion team right here might just try to set up for one last big epic fight, but Keeper doesn't even have, or he does have root actually, so.
They actually might be able to get this kill on Dampier.
Oh no, Dampier going balls to the wall, but at what cost right here? He gets the kill to more axes. Is this going to be enough though to stay alive? What am I saying? It's Dampier. He should be fine. Or is he? Keeper the Force is chasing him forward, trying to support him, but Dampier is running away with Ghost Marchers. He could actually go back in if he really wants to. He does have the support in the background. And Fora actually getting caught out here. Here we go. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. That was totally our soundboard, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not Trelf right there. All right, so there's the vote to concede. And it looks like as soon as it passes here, apparently somebody over there still wants to play, or maybe someone can say, okay. We're actually, wow, he went from Half-Life to 0 on that.
Yep.
Consume. With the Hellflower.
And Le Vote has come to fail. Oh, GG well played. It's coming out.
Still a chance.
Number 2.
All right, there it is. There's the official one. All right, so yeah, I mean N9 Gaming again. It's that's just their classic game of they just got way too far ahead. The laning phase, as appropriate as it was to lane as BLZN did. I mean, they did again adjust very well early on, and it definitely made sense. In the end, there is that whole next part of actually playing it out, and I think it's safe to end that again. They just simply outplayed BLZN there, especially in that laning phase. So
yeah, very
deserving of the series victory, and that means they're again qualified for the main event, where there's over $40,000 in prize pool. So a lot is on the line for that eventual event. Can't wait for that, really.
Yeah.
But for now, gonna have to wait to see the other qualifiers take place, eventually leading into that. But congratulations though to N9. I'm sure they're happy.
And then of course, what's happening this week? And we have Han Tour cycle number, is it 3? God, it's all going so fast. 3. We
had the break and everything, so things kind of got a little bit, off a little bit. But we're back. Cycle number 3 continues tomorrow.
Yep.
So.
Oh, well, that's going to be starting off with the losers bracket end things. That's Complexity versus QSQ in the best of 3 in the losers. And, of course, after that, we will cast the winners, which is, of course, TT Esports and Stay Green.
Yes, yeah, the winners bracket finals, TT Esports versus Stay Green. Again, if you still are haven't really been following the Cycle 3 just yet, and you're going to be tuning in tomorrow, yes, Complexity and Trademark Esports both got knocked down to the losers bracket as a result of their losses in the winners bracket semifinals. So, Complexity versus Q Squad, as you mentioned, will be our first match. TDM already played Lions, actually. I actually cast that with
That's right, yeah.
It was yesterday, I believe. Yeah, yesterday. And TDM did win that 2-0, so they are advancing on. But they play the winner of the Complexity Q Squad series. So we'll start off with Complexity Q Squad tomorrow. Again, that all starts off, as always, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, 1800 Central European Time. And then, as you mentioned, Stay Green versus TT Esports. The winners bracket finals take place after. And then, of course, on Sunday, we have our losers bracket finals, and then eventually the grand finals going to be happening. It is going to be an awesome weekend, and we're going to see, when it's all said and done, of course, where teams really stand in the standings, now with 3 cycles eventually wrapping up. And that's going to be, again, especially with how this one is shaping up to be, the standings really are going to be very, very, very interesting to see where teams actually are placed.
Yep.
Especially in the 1 through 5, really, in that region. So, with that said, again, congratulations one more time to N9 Gaming. Sound Blaster, big shout out to these guys, really, for throwing a league like this together.
Yeah.
And we're definitely very, very happy that we could, of course, cover what are the finals. Beef Pop Pie, of course, he takes care of the earlier rounds, so big shout out to him once again. But that is going to do it for today, Trout.
Yeah.
Any final words from yourself?
Just GG, well played to both teams.
Indeed. It was an entertaining series in the end. At least we got that out of it.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun to watch. Now, also just a quick hint on tomorrow. You guys may have seen the announcement on the forums, but there's an announcement about how you can actually win a chance yourself to go to the Han Tour Grand Finals wherever they may be. Now, that's part of this competition. It actually starts tomorrow with their HON Tour coverage. So not only should you be tuning in for some kick-ass HON coverage, some great games and entertainment and whatnot, but you also should be tuning in for your chance to actually get to go to, again, that undisclosed location of exactly not knowing where it is. But that competition basically entails, as time goes on, over I think these next 3 weeks in total, we'll be giving out a lot of clues. Some hints will be given up to you guys to ultimately determine where the grand finals are going to be taking place. And you know, depending on how you do all throughout the process, you'll have a good chance of then again getting invited and going yourself to witness it live and have a lot of fun with us. So
it's gonna be awesome.
Definitely tune in for that reason as well tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, more information going to be happening tomorrow. There is a post on the forums, like I said, too, that you can check out more on it in the general section. Anyways, that is going to officially wrap it up for today. So one more time, big shout out to Sound Blaster, especially for hosting this event. Definitely glad we can cover it. But tomorrow we got HON Tour Cycle 3 continuing for the Diamond Division. Going to be a blast. Until then, though, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm Breaky CPK. Joining me, as always, is Tralf Mandor. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Killer Orange. And we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, at 1800 Central European Time. Have a good night, guys. See ya.